Happening now, a rally against white supremacy and hate is slated for this weekend following acts of vandalism at a local park. Plus, Jamestown's free meal program for students starts this week, how those under the age of 18 can take advantage of.
Well, it's going to be another wet start to another week, but is there going to be any dry time in sight? I'll tell you about it next as the News at Noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
A rally taking a stand against vandalism of statues honoring the Underground Railroad history here in Jamestown will take place this weekend. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Jamestown Justice Coalition announced on their Facebook page the rally against white supremacy and hate will happen on Saturday at 11 o'clock in Dow Park. The Jamestown Police Department and FBI are investigating anti-Semitic and anti-African American graffiti of two statues in that downtown recreational area. The damage has since been cleaned off by the Jamestown Police Parks Department. Justin Hubbard, he's the coordinator of the coalition, spoke with our news partners WNY News Now yesterday, calling out what he says is a growing pattern after a statue was stolen from that very exhibit back in May.
These are direct attacks on the black community here. This was not just some random act of vandalism. These are white supremacist symbols, and they knew exactly what targets to hit because these are very important historical landmarks for the black community here.
Anyone with information on the incident is asked to contact the Jamestown Police Department via their tip line. That's 716-483-TIPS, 483-8477. Police say the incident will be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Well, a lawsuit filed last week in Chautauqua County Supreme Court might prevent the Chautauqua Lake Pops concert series from taking place this summer in Mayville. Plaintiffs for the Mayville, DeWittville, and Ohio area accused the Bemis Bay Pops, Dan DePaula, and the village of Mayville of attempting to operate without proper environmental permits. They also claim that the summer concert event creates excessive levels of noise that disturb the peace. Legal documents contain a letter from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation that report a permit was denied after the agency found the floating stage and attached docks were not in line with the local waterfront revitalization plan. The concert series is slated to kick off Saturday at Lakeside Park in Mayville, but might not happen this year depending on the course of the legal proceedings. Well, State Senator George Borrello is strengthening his call against recreational marijuana and the dangers he says it creates, following a meeting with local law enforcement. WNY News Now's Jason Ruttman spoke to the senator, who has been a vocal opponent to the legislation, maintaining his stance that decriminalizing marijuana under the recently passed laws was a foolish move.
What we have is a horribly drafted piece of legislation whose main goal was to appease radical special interests and to somehow prove that New York State was the most progressive instead of the most responsible when it came to legalizing recreational marijuana.
State Senator George Borrello has been highly vocal about how the codification surrounding marijuana usage should mirror that of alcohol, and even included examples.
We've told people that we're taking away probable cause. So right now, if you are let's say you get pulled over by a police officer and that police officer smells alcohol in your breath. That police officer has the probable cause to take you out of the car, to do a field sobriety test. Now you get pulled over by a police officer. He smells marijuana in the car. That is not probable cause for him to take any action. The way the legislation is written, essentially, there needs to be an accident with injury before a police officer can take action.
Borrello's quip seemed to be mirrored by Town of Ellicott Police Chief William Onmeese, who noted dangers he says legalization creates.
You know, they pass these laws and some of it really doesn't make sense, and they don't give us the tools to enforce, again, to keep, well, the people that are doing it safe and the general public.
There is no concern for public safety here. That we're talking about things that are going to cost lives.
When asked about how the tax revenues that will be generated from marijuana sales may help communities, Borrello cited studies from Long Island that had dire results.
The costs of the law enforcement, public safety, and public health costs will far exceed whatever revenue they'd be able to generate.
The senator's comments come just days after he met with police leaders from around the county in Falconer, hearing their concerns.
From a law enforcement standpoint, there's not a lot of guidance right now. Yeah, if they would have treated it exactly like alcohol, it certainly would make everybody's job much easier.
Others in the community are hopeful that recreational marijuana legalization will positively impact the community, including Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist, who last month encouraged marijuana growers to explore the city as a location to expand their business and operation, stating the potential positive impact on the economy. Jason Ruttman, WNY News Now.
Jason, thank you. Currently, the New York State Senate is on their summer recess. However, when lawmakers return, it wouldn't be surprising to see Borrello, his colleagues, and law enforcement make a push to update the state's marijuana guidelines. Well, the Jamestown YMCA is dishing out meals to anyone under the age of 18 at several locations around the city as summer break enters full swing. From 11:30 to 1, meals can be picked up at the Prendergast Library, Jamestown Boys and Girls Club, Real Life Church, Fletcher, Lincoln, and Ring Elementary Schools. The dishes are prepared at the Eastside YMCA with funding from the USDA. It's estimated that the group will serve around 1,000 meals a day, breakfast and lunch to kids across the city. Certainly doing a lot of good there. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below. We always love to hear from you. Hopefully everyone had a great 4th of July, might be getting back to work, maybe got back to work yesterday. It's great to see Wendy, good to see Kevin, good to see Claire Reese, good to see Josh, Pam, and Tony as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, now let's get to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by for us live in studio. And Dakota, it was a pretty rumbly a couple of hours just a little bit ago.
Yeah, I mean, we had a potent little thunderstorm that kind of moved in near Panama and moved over the portions near Chautauqua Lake in the southern part of the city here. And it's actually now going into Cattaraugus County. Live look over Salamanca shows you those dark clouds from those storms, and we'll show it to you on the radar. Notice that storm come in right there and then move right across the southern part of the city. Now it's going into Cattaraugus County south of Randolph and then ultimately going out eastward into Cattaraugus County. This storm actually produced a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Lakewood Observation Station, which is on Fairmount Avenue. And so that produced a pretty nasty wind gust there. And this is all sub-severe so far, but we'll see how these storms behave as we go through the afternoon. There actually is a severe thunderstorm warning up there near Rochester, but nothing around the southern tier so far. 84 was the high yesterday, muggy day, and 69 is where we started the day. Another uncomfortable night. 99 and 36 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms near oppressive humidity. So it's going to be another find the air conditioning where you can find it. Partial sunshine later through the afternoon. 79 at the immediate Lake Erie water to 86 inland, and it will be breezy with some wind gusts near 30 miles an hour. The showers and storms don't go anywhere throughout much of this week, but there could be a cool down coming our way. We'll talk about it with that 7-day later in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, coming up in about 10 minutes time, so stay tuned for that. Wildlife health experts in Pennsylvania are investigating a mysterious illness among songbirds, where in some cases it causes them to die. The PA Game Commission is among agencies across the Keystone State that are now urging the public to remove feeders to help curb the spread of this mysterious disease. So far this month, officials report they've received more than 70 reports of this strange illness. It causes birds and various species to experience symptoms like a discharge and or crusting around the eye lessons, and or neurological signs like falling over or even in some cases head tumors. The sickness is impacting both adult and young wild birds and has been found among 12 species, including blue jays, European starlings, common grackles, American robins, and the northern cardinal, just to name a few. If a bird with the symptom is found, the agency asks the residents to report it. Well, a new report is putting numbers to an early pandemic problem. The CDC finding sharp declines in breast and cervical cancer screenings, leading to concerns over how that will affect health in the future. Mandy Gaither takes a closer look at the numbers for us.
It's confirmation of what many doctors feared.
With less screenings, we're going to miss things.
In a new report, the CDC says in April 2020, the total number of breast cancer screenings through the agency's early detection program dropped by 87% and 84% for cervical cancer. That's compared with the previous 5-year averages for that month. Atlanta OBGYN Dr. Sujatha Reddy says these screenings are crucial to saving lives.
When we find cancer at an early stage, we have a much better chance of beating it.
The report also highlights another concern. Women in racial and ethnic minority groups who had low incomes and decreased access to medical services were especially impacted early in the pandemic.
With schools not opening, a lot of women had to stay home to take care of their children. Thereby, they couldn't enter the workforce.
Dr. Reddy says women who were already behind on screenings should make an appointment now.
We're taking every precaution to protect our patients. So it is absolutely safe, and it's actually beneficial and good for you to resume those screenings.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. The CDC says screening volumes had begun to recover in all groups by June 2020, the end of the observation period, but continues to encourage doctors to help minimize delays by testing and continuing routine cancer screenings for women having symptoms or who could be at high risk for breast or cervical cancer. Well, coming up next, an update regarding the partial building collapse in Surfside, Florida, which will allow more access for search teams there. But first, the latest in a lumber theft that happened over the weekend in Sugar Grove, and police asking for your help. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this dark and rainy afternoon.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Pennsylvania State Police are asking for your help following a robbery over the weekend. It was reported that someone stole 49 sheets of lumber valued at over $700 from Grant Lumber on Forest Street in Sugar Grove Sunday morning. The theft likely happened around 2:30 in the morning when the would-be thieves were driving a 2008-2013 GMC pickup truck with off-road tires, black rims, and a chrome gas cap. Police say that truck drove north, possibly to New York State, Any within information in the case is asked to contact Pennsylvania State Police at 814-728-3600. Well, travel restrictions along the Canadian border are changing. However, tourists from the U.S. are still prohibited. As of yesterday, essential travelers into Canada no longer need to require the 14-day quarantine, stay in government housing, or complete an 8-day COVID test. Instead, they can be PCR tested on arrival and then await their results in isolation. Restrictions were also lifted for those fully vaccinated, including Canadian citizens, permanent residents, persons registered under the Indian Act, international students, and other essential foreign nationals. Travelers need to verify their vaccination status by submitting a proof of immunization via the ArriveCan mobile app, though. Crews in Surfside, Florida are now able to search all sections of the condominium after the remaining part of the condo building was demolished. Now 28 people confirmed dead, while 117 remain unaccounted for. Daryl Forges is in Surfside with more on the search for survivors and the investigation into the initial collapse.
The search for the Champlain Tower's south rubble is widening.
The search and rescue team has been able to search all sections of the grid on the collapse following the building demolition.
The controlled demolition, a necessary step, given the dual threats of a wobbling building and Tropical Storm Elsa.
The lightning storms is a concern for us where we stop, and definitely the wind gusts.
Fire, smoke, and now wind and torrential rain. They are continuing the mission.
Crews have removed nearly 5 million pounds of concrete, but as the search continues, so do the questions.
Every piece of information that comes out, I have more questions.
New internal documents obtained by CNN shed light on the urgent need for $15 million worth of repairs that were delayed for years. One of the slides in a series of presentations from the fall and winter of 2020 was titled, "Why We Have to Do All This Now." Another explained there is no waterproofing layer over the garage in the driveway or any area except the pool deck and planters. This has exposed the garage to water intrusion for 40 years. Where there is waterproofing, it has failed. Water has gotten underneath and caused additional damage to the concrete.
How was this missed for so long that it reached this?
In Surfside, Florida, I'm Daryl Forges.
Daryl, thank you. Well, barbecued chicken may be a summertime fan favorite, and you may have had plenty of it over the weekend. But today, you need to prepare your poultry with a little more grease. It's because it's National Fried Chicken Day. It's observed every year on July 6th. Now, according to nationaldaycalendar.com, the practice of deep frying chicken in fat was imported to the U.S. by Scottish immigrants. In a way, it could almost be considered a belated nod to Independence Day, celebrating one of the highlights of America's rich cultural melting pot. So whether it's at home or at a restaurant, take a moment and enjoy National Fried Chicken Day with a few pieces of the golden deep-fried poultry goodness. That looks good. I tell you, Dakota, they do this to us on person. They really do. Our producers are mean sometimes because that looks really yummy.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, what is your favorite fried chicken?
Oh, gosh. You know, I just shake and bake chicken doesn't count, does it? No, because it's not fried, but I really do like that kind of chicken. It's pretty good. But I guess if I did have to do like a fried chicken, I know that there's a couple of local restaurants around town, Basil and Bones, I believe they do fried chicken a little bit. They're pretty good. KFC, I mean, you can't go wrong. That is one of the national chains, but sometimes the grease is too much. I mean, it really is. Like,
so we're gonna ignite the chain wars here because I like Popeyes.
Yeah.
I think Popeyes is better than KFC.
Does Chick-fil-A do fried chicken too?
I've never been there.
No, I there's one in Erie, and they're pretty good. I've been to a Popeyes and a Chick-fil-A. So
which one do you like better?
Honestly, I do like Chick-fil-A. I think they have an edge than over Popeyes. If I had to choose between
well,
KFC,
you see,
Chick-fil-A,
Popeyes is Cajun style. So if you don't like, Cajun Louisiana style food, you're probably not going to like Popeyes. So but I do.
You do. Let us know what you guys think about in the comments down below. Pam asking in the comments, power outage in Randolph, weather related, quite possibly. We'll have to check in with, I think National Grid and NICEC cover those areas. So we'll let you know. But I'd imagine there was that heavy burst of rain that rolled through the area, and that's really been nothing new for us over the last couple of weeks.
No,
I mean, the storms.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the precipitation through the month so far, and we're going to add a little bit to this today, but obviously we don't have the official total. But just in the first 2 days alone, we had 3.81 inches of rain just in the first 2 days of June, or in July alone. That creates a surplus of nearly 3 inches of rain to where we should be. We should be around an inch of rainfall for the month so far. So it's amazing how much rain fell in the first 2 days of July. And we've got some more rain to go here. You'll see the rain spike up to a 90% chance as we go into Thursday. This is actually out ahead of our next cold front. And the cold front really doesn't produce much in the way of cooling, but it will bring the temperatures down a little bit, but not with the muggy meter. You'll see it here. It does go down slightly, but it's still going to be a pretty much humid and muggy week here. I mean, it's July. It's supposed to be hot and humid. That's what it's supposed to feel like in July. Lots of clouds downtown from the top of the DoubleTree Hotel as the rain shower moved through it, knocked us down to 72, a wind gust of 18 at the airport, but notice that dew point at 67. So that is the main driving factor of the showers and storms today, with the high amounts of humidity in the air. And there is a low and marginal risk, a level 1 on a scale of 5, for at least there could be a couple stronger thunderstorms, mainly inland away from the lakeshore. You see how the SPC doesn't have the Lake Erie shoreline in that dark green area. That is because likely of a lake breeze will likely protect the Lake Erie shoreline there. All right, let's get you up to speed on First Defense Doppler. This is that rain shower that moved through south of Randolph. We'll have to check on that. But again, as I told you earlier, the Lakewood Observation Station had a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust from this storm. So that power outage Pam was talking about could be related to that. This is going to be moving into Limestone and Olean. Ultimately, we have a few more showers and storms that have bubbled up across Cattaraugus County. And this is going to be the trend throughout the day today. Showers and storms through the afternoon. Notice a couple severe thunderstorm warnings up near Rochester. Our impending cold front is way back to the west, and that'll be moving through on Thursday. Quick check of the tropics. Tropical storm Elsa down here now on the Florida Keys. It once was a hurricane, but it has since weakened off a little bit to a tropical storm. 60-mile-per-hour winds with 70-mile-per-hour gusts. And here's the forecast track from the Hurricane Center. Has it coming up into the Tampa Bay area, and then coming up into North and South Carolina, and then curving back out into the Atlantic. We'll have to watch this later on in the week. This is towards Saturday and Sunday. We'll have to watch this. We could see some cloud cover from this as it moves out towards the Atlantic, or we could see at least some rainfall depending on the track. We'll have to continue watching that throughout the week. Future Scan paints the idea of a couple showers and storms popping up through the afternoon. Same thing we talk about all the time. This is a computer model. The showers and storms will likely not pop up in the exact location that they're painted here. And then tomorrow, just a repeat. Scattered showers and storms, still warm, still muggy. The humidity's not going anywhere, as you saw in that muggy meter, and the showers and storms will be commonplace throughout much of this week. So the inland areas today on the zone forecast, it's going to be another warm day, likely lower to mid 80s across much of the area. Chance for a stronger storm further out to the east, with temperatures hovering right around that 80-degree mark. I've got the future. Next 7 days right there. 85 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday. Soggy and cooler with that cold front. A couple isolated showers Friday and Saturday, and then by the time we head into early next week, we may see a little bit of a break in that humidity. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you. Before we do go to break, I do want to just provide a quick update on the power outage that Pam was reporting to us. If you're just joining us, as Dakota mentioned, a big line of strong weather moved through our area. If we can take my computer here, I want to show you. They're reporting. This is National Grid outage map. If we're able to see that. Looks like we're having some. Is that okay? Back now. This is National Grid's outage map, and you see there is a good amount of outages. It's reporting about 300 to 400 people out in Busti, a very sporadic outages. Busti westward into Asheville. And then if we switch over into Cattaraugus County, this shot coming from Randolph, there's about 800 people that are impacted here between the actual hamlet of Randolph along Main Street, down Cold Spring Road, and then even eastward into Randolph. And then parts of East Randolph off northward as well are impacted, with about 200 people without power. We'll, of course, continue to work this, talking to NYSEG and National Grid, and try to provide updates as we learn more information. Of course, online at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. We will be right back after this.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, the big movie opening this weekend is one many Marvel fans have been demanding for years. A standalone Black Widow film that explores the character's past. David Daniel talked with some of its stars.
I've lived a lot of lives, but I'm done running from my past.
Black Widow finds Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff separated from the Avengers after the events of Captain America: Civil War.
We have to go back to where it all started, so they never do that to anyone again.
She does have some help.
We're a family. We fight with you.
Johansson says her character's arc in this film was influenced by Natasha's death in Avengers Endgame.
We wanted Natasha's ultimate sacrifice to feel like one that was an active choice of hers.
That means reconnecting warily with Yelena, played by Florence Pugh.
Her little sister, Yelena, who really forces her to face a lot of the trauma that she's experienced instead of running from it, and understand and process what has actually happened to her so she can get there.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our rules. It wasn't real.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything.
You know, it was important that this journey was one of self-forgiveness for Natasha.
At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Yeah, David, thank you. Black Widow starts showing this Thursday at 5 o'clock at Lakewood Cinema 8. Exciting for movie fans. I feel like we're just talking about them reopening, Dakota, and finally rolling out those premieres. And a lot of it, from what I'm hearing, is that flicks like that were filmed, but are delayed because nobody was able to go to the movies to view them. So now we're finally getting the chance.
Yeah, and Todd also says the big movie for us this week is Boss Baby 2.
Ooh, yeah.
And I think I saw the original Boss Baby. I think I did. So,
it's a good movie. It's cute. I love movies like that work in the adult humor into it a little bit, where it's not just all for kids. It's kind of nice. So
it's like The Simpsons, or Family Guy.
Right.
It's like
some of that isn't for kids at all. But
yeah,
they
you get what I mean. It's more the adult taste. Or Rick and Morty. Any Rick and Morty fans?
Right. Like I think Toy Story. They work in a lot of adult. Like there's funny, witty moments that maybe the kids don't laugh at, but mom and dad do, and you can't beat it. So good to see Ed. Good to see Linda. Todd, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate that comment. Good to see Mike. and Kevin as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. That's going to do it for us. Of course, news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. We'll leave you with this live picture over downtown Jamestown. Looks like there's still a little bit of rain sticking around. Of course, if you missed anything we talked about, this program's on demand in just about 10 seconds. You can watch us back here, and we'll see you back here tomorrow live.